the era of digital transformation. But amidst all the talk around technology, the people side of digital innovation is often overlooked. So how does one go about creating a culture of digital innovation within the four walls of a company? And as a society, how can we create and nourish a next generation talent pool that will take that legacy of innovation to the next level? To tackle this very topic, we caught up with Rajesh Uppal, or Uppal San, member of Executive Committee at Maruti Suzuki, India's leading car manufacturer, and Dr. Manas Human, co-founder and CEO of Nagaro, a leading digital engineering company globally.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. And Uppal San, if I could kick off the conversation with you. For the benefit of our viewers, Maruti Suzuki, of course, stands as the country's largest automobile manufacturer. And in your role, you have spearheaded the company's entire digital transformation journey. What have been some of the most major milestones in this growth story? And essentially, what is Maruti Suzuki doing differently?
Maruti has been a technology leader for a long time in IT also. But from IT, 5 years back, we thought digital would be a separate stream to be done. IT should focus on business efficiencies, but using IT for business effectiveness was the idea when we started creating the digital enterprise for the company. So the idea was that how digital can be used for creating business value for the company. And we started small with 5 people. Now we have more than 500 people.
Phenomenal.
The focus in this is very clearly in 5 areas for us. First is how can we create more business revenues for the company using digital. Second was only how we can create business more intelligent using technology. Third is creating customer experience for the customers of us.
Right.
Fourth is data-driven decision making. And last but not the least is the employee experience for the company. Absolutely. So these are 5 focus areas for us to be working on. And some of them has been a big milestone in this. Now this is not a one project we are doing, it's a journey which we are going forward and creating many products while going through this journey. And I think today we have really a successful digital enterprise in the organization.
So it's very heartening to hear. And coming to you now, Manas, Nagaro has of course emerged as a digital engineering specialist, all right? And in the last fiscal year alone, you've crossed the $1 billion revenue mark. So congratulations on that accomplishment. But again, for the benefit of our viewers and for sake of some context setting, walk us through the markets, the geographies, and the sectors you serve, and the depth and breadth of your product portfolio, sir.
So, Pooja, as you know, Nagaro is a digital engineering specialist, and what that means is that we are specializing in creating digital products and solutions for our clients, the kind of digital products and solutions that Uppal San spoke about. And we work across different industries, and you probably use our software somewhere or the other every day, right? So if you board a flight, or you drive a car, or check into a hotel room, or get a blood test at a hospital, or buy something online. So our software is pretty much touching your lives in some way or the other every single day. And we today work with clients across 68 countries, and we are very privileged to work with some of the world's best brands, including Maruti Suzuki, India's largest automaker. Very proud to work with them. Basically our focus is on helping our clients drive revenue growth, drive market share, by bringing innovative digital products and solutions to the market, right? And doing so fast. So that time to market is very much part of our brand promise. That agility is our brand promise and the DNA of our company. And as Uppal San said, that it's a bit different from the traditional IT services. So both what we are building and how we are building it is a bit different from traditional IT services.
Well, speaking of being a bit non-traditional, your designation is also non-traditional in that it reads CEO, but instead of Chief Executive Officer, it stands for Custodian for Entrepreneurship, in the organization, right? So give me a sense of why you thought to reimagine the title altogether.
In order to really bring our best play into digital product engineering, we had to reimagine how we thought as an organization. So, if you think about the traditional IT services, it's a lot about, it's very hierarchical, it's very top-down, it's a lot about control. And it's a lot about taking the way companies work is they take large chunks of work, they make sure it's very tightly specced or there are strong SLAs, and they parcel it out very carefully among large teams so each individual knows what they have to do. That's traditional IT services. But if you look at digital engineering, it requires a different concept, right? So it's more about lean, small teams that work very intensely and very intimately with the clients, right? And while they are actually channeling the power of Nagaro to this engagement, they are actually trying to work very, very closely with the client. And for that to actually happen, they have to be very entrepreneurial, and the rest of the organization is in support mode, but they are driving the engagement.
And sir, coming to you now, in your previous role at Maruti, we understand that you're currently a member of the executive board, but in your previous role, both HR and IT reported into you. And did it require the coming together of two very divergent functions in order to fully take advantage of digital transformation and all the opportunities it has to offer?
Yes, they are diverse organizations, but I think to drive digital transformation in the company, I think most important part is change management.
Sure.
And also, secondly, first thing we started doing while digital transformation was creating a digital culture in the organization. And then that's where HR pitched in. We created digital as the competency in the company to be acquired by everybody in the company. We started with top of the organization and did digital transformation learning for them.
Right.
And with that, the kind of pull we got for digital projects coming in, that these are the things which we will be focusing on and creating that. And that is really helped us to really adopt digital much faster than a traditional route of doing it.
And Uppal Sans, a follow-up question there, because digital transformation has become such a broad, all-encompassing term. So can you share some tangible examples of how you rolled it out, both in a customer-facing capacity and an employee-facing capacity?
In the customer experience stage, we mapped the whole customer journey for buying a car and until the time you sell off the car. And we found that there are 26 touch points only for the buying the car. And we digitized 23 of them and make sure that we have a digital presence in any touch point with the customer, and we can use that information for giving the service, better service to the customer, and also make sure that we have data available to us to really improve our services going forward. And that was one big area of focus for us. Now also we created some new products for the customer, like subscription marketplace. Now instead of buying the car, you want to subscribe a car and use the car and give it back to us when you don't need it. We created a digital marketplace where you can subscribe the car on your mobile phone, and then you can pay EMI, and whenever you're not paying EMI, you can give it back car to us. This was one digital marketplace. Secondly, also we created something called finance marketplace. Now, and 80% of customers take a loan for buying their car, and we created a marketplace where all 27 banks listed in the marketplace. And you give your details in that marketplace. Everybody will pitch in for their loan for your car, right, and you can pick up the best suited to you to handle that. Now, instead of being focused on one finance guy sitting in a dealership, you have all 27 available to giving you a loan.
So when you strike client partnerships at Nagaro, what do you look for in terms of the company's way of working, in terms of those corporate cultures? How do you assess them from the outside, and to what extent do they contribute to the success or the downfall of the collaboration?
See, as a digital engineering specialist, we really believe that the companies have to be really tuned for this sort of digital transformation journeys that Uppal San was referring to, and then the way they work together also has to be in tune. And I think I'll take this inspiration from this automaker example, right? So when I was studying in the US in the 90s, the professors there, at Stanford and Harvard, where they tried to dissect the success of the Japanese automakers, one of the things they would always talk about is how the Japanese automakers were building long-term partnerships with their suppliers, right? So at that time, at least, the US automakers were more transactional with their suppliers.
Right.
And these Japanese automakers were building these long-term partnerships so that within these partnerships, they were able to be doing a lot of innovation like Kaizen or just-in-time and quality and so on. And I'm not saying that they were gentle, they were tough with their suppliers, but they were thinking long-term, and that's a very big difference. And I think if you look even in other industries like apparel retail, for example, there's the Spanish, or now a global company, Inditex Zara, yes, which basically invented fast fashion by building these long-term partnerships with suppliers, and then you could do a lot of fast fashion within that partnership. And I think digital engineering is just like that, right? So if you have that partnership, if you have the trust, if you have the level of shared goals and shared knowledge, etc., then within that you can be you can have quick time to market, you can have a lot of continuous improvement. So our preferred approach to partnerships is, I mean, it's not the only way we work, but a preferred approach is that we sort of migrate from this more formal, over-the-wall RFP and then delivery back kind of approach to a much more intensive, intimate, and iterative approach to building stuff. So eventually the client should actually see our teams almost as an extension of their own capabilities. Right. Of course, they are channeling all of Nagaro's capabilities into that little point of contact, but they should just feel that it's their own organization for all practical purposes.
We of course know that Maruti Suzuki and Nagaro work hand in hand on the digital engineering front. But that aside, how has your preferred approach to partnerships evolved as a result of the digital transformation journey that you've embarked on?
Digital transformation has two parts to the story. One is the whole, I call it digital supply chain. Now, one part is the demand creation, where you go to our users and identify right digital products to be created. And secondly, supply side, you need an organization which can deliver that to the organization in an agile way, and also in a way that it really gets the value which you are looking forward to from the product. So in that journey, the supply side is very important for us. And as a user organization, I can't create all those skills available in the organization. So we went in for a partnership approach, working with our partners and get skills from there, whatever required, whenever required, and do that project and all, and move into the new project after that and all.
It's time for a short break, but our special feature, Maruti Suzuki and Nagaro, the people side of digital innovation, continues on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our special feature. You're watching Maruti Suzuki and Nagaro, the people side of digital innovation. And sir, I want to talk about corporate culture with you as well, because ways of working and that human side of digital innovation is so often overlooked, right? So what are the tweaks that you've made in the company's corporate DNA to fully facilitate that change?
Two things. First and foremost is the digital capability in the whole organization. So we went across each level of the people and created the digital learning with them to ensure that they have capability to envisage digital and think about digital products.
Purely within the four walls of Maruti Suzuki.
Absolutely. And secondly, after that also we worked on that a platform where they can give digital ideas, and that can be used by the company and for improving our businesses. So we started something called Entrepreneurship Challenge.
All right.
Now something like startup ecosystem, and where any young employee can give an idea on digital, and which create a business case for that, and then there's a panel who evaluate that and all, and top of them are rewarded decently, so that in this whole process there's a sort of competition among the employees to give good ideas. But those ideas were created into a digital projects which is delivered as part of our digital transformation. I think that's platform to really give ideas, and that can be used by the company, was the approach we used for it.
And their incentivization is really well aligned. So, Manas, might you be able to share a similar example of how innovation and incentivization need to work hand in hand?
I think incentivization is very important, but I would say more important is having a culture where it feels that younger people can speak up with their ideas, as Sir was saying. And I think for us, we call this as a core value of being non-hierarchical. So in a room or on the floor, everybody should feel that they are able to speak up. Yeah? And it doesn't come so easy to us in the Indian culture. So we don't even allow each other to use the words sir or madam. We just use the first name as a way to break down the barriers between people.
Well, I want to play devil's advocate for a moment. So in this digital innovation journey and the digital transformation journey, what do you consider to be some of the most commonly made mistakes, on a human level?
I think the most common mistake would be to treat it like more of a conventional IT services kind of play, and to think of it as system integration or implementation of some software, right? It's not implementation of software, it's a mindset change. It's a mindset change that has to lead to the discovery of new opportunities over and over again, and then have the digital supply chain, as Uppal was saying, to actually meet those needs and on a continuous iterative basis. I think that's the big change that I think enterprises have to make.
And Uppal, do you echo the same sentiment?
Absolutely. I think the whole digital transformation starts from what do you want to achieve, and work back on an iterative way to get that goal which you're looking forward to. I think that's the way I feel that digital transformation should be driven.
And when you look at your own management styles, has how you think about digital transformation evolved? For you personally or on a professional level, have you seen your own thought process change?
Yes, absolutely. I think at Nagaro we have been very inspired, as I said, by the Japanese manufacturing concepts and Inditex and the best-in-class agile companies, right? And we study them closely, and we try to copy some of their best practices and also innovate. But I think that you keep learning something new every day, and especially as you scale, you are always trying to balance the needs of scale with the needs of being at where it really matters, where the rubber meets the road. Right. And the teams that are working with clients, they should still feel as empowered, as entrepreneurial, as committed to client success as a small startup, right? And that's kind of what we are trying to drive.
Phenomenal to hear that. And I want to switch gears for a moment and talk academia. All right. So my understanding is that you serve on the board of governors at the Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, along with the Institute of Management Technology, Ghaziabad. Likewise, Manas, you are a founder and trustee at Plaksha University. What led the both of you to formally associate with these academic institutions? And to what extent does it point to your desire to nourish that people side of digital innovation in the next generation? I'll start with you.
In Maruti Suzuki, I was given a charge to establish a Maruti Suzuki Training Academy in 2012. And that's where we started one academy for Maruti to really build capability of whole ecosystem, our dealers, our employees, our transporters, our partners together. So in that journey, we built lots of partnership with education institutes and work on that. I think I have two learnings which I guess which is very important for any education institute to run and build on. One is very clearly how to really align the whole curriculum with the business, and how the industry alignment should happen. Right. That's the first very, very important part and all, and that's something which is important I want to drive in this companies I'm working with.
The industry relevance and ensuring that everyone walks away a winner. You, Manas, your take.
Yeah, so Plaksha is very close to my heart. And also for Nagaro, because Nagaro is also a founder member of Plaksha and actually incubated Plaksha in our own office buildings here in Gurgaon. So at Plaksha, we are trying to create talent that is very electric, for want of a better word. So very creative, innovative, entrepreneurial, positive, optimistic, great problem solvers. And I think basically we are trying to address some of the deep-rooted challenges with the higher education system.
What do you consider some of those to be?
Yeah, so there are 3 points of departure, and I won't necessarily list the negatives. I'll just talk about the positives, right? I mean, so where the points of departure are. So one of these is that instead of rote learning, right, and you have lots of engineers who can solve numerical problems of a certain type, but we want to move to learning by doing. So we have a lot of electrical engineers in India who can't fix a fuse or they can't change the wiring in their home. We want to change that, right? The second is exactly as Uppal said, much more about real world impact, right? So not theoretical, real world impact, big impact. So Plaksha has like 100 plus donors, including companies and entrepreneurs and leaders of business. And we're trying to use that to expose the kids to real world industry problems, right? Or as entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs to real world entrepreneurial challenges, or even social problems, right? But the way to think about it, the problem solving sort of framework to be applied to large real world problems, right? That's the second point of departure. And the third point of departure is multidisciplinary.
Well, Manas, that's very heartening to hear. And I want to build on that by way of closing comments. And I'll pose my last question to the both of you. So Indian graduates have long been appreciated and praised for their technical prowess. But soft skills are often cited as an area of much needed improvement. And given that we're talking about the people side or the human side of digital innovation, how do you respond to that, sir?
I think in our time, the focus on this never used to be there. You had to be a problem solver and the engineer by choice. Right. So I think that's one big change our industry has to do that. And we need to teach a lot on that area when they join us and build on that and all.
And I'll give you the last word, Manas.
I agree with Uppal. This coming generation will be a lot smarter than us. I think that, we talk of soft skills, I think we already see that the youngsters are much better communicators. They're able to express their thoughts better. But I think that problem solving, that is the ability to have the confidence to tackle a problem, to deconstruct it, to think about it, to learn up different things to tackle it, I think we still have a lot more to do. And that's kind of where I think these universities where we are engaged will gradually innovate to deliver even that.
Well, we look forward to that. And gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and digging deep into your personal as well as your professional journeys. We truly found the insights shared of value, and we wish you and your teams all the continued success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pooja. Thank you.